Come on in.
Hi.
Hi, Stephanie.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Mr. Marsden.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Do you go by Stephanie, or what do you prefer to be called?
Oh, could you call me Steph?
Steph, you got it. So, you were referred to me by the college, and it says you're in Intro to Stats and Literature?
That's right.
Okay. Now, they have some academic concerns. You're a freshman, it says?
Yes.
Okay. Why don't you tell me how you think you're doing academically?
I thought I was doing really well, but then midterm grades came out and I did really bad. I am working with the literature teacher. She's helping me make up assignments so I can redo things and bring the grade up there. So I guess the real concern, and a goal for me is to fix the stats goal.
Okay. And how do you feel stats went? Was there a disconnect with the information? Were you comprehending it okay, or how do you think it went?
I thought I was doing really well, and I don't want to blame anybody, but I didn't get back scores for a while, so I didn't really know how I was doing until after the midterm grades were posted. He posted basically everything else too.
Okay. And that could be shocking, especially if you think you're getting a certain grade and the reality is it's much lower than you anticipated.
Yeah, I would say like a B.
A B? Oh, it's still not bad though.
But, he gave me C minus.
Okay. So, off by letter grade, that can certainly cause some disappointment. How are your assignment completions? Do you think you're turning in everything on time?
So and that's the problem I had in literature is that I didn't get things in, but she's letting me make that up.
Okay.
For stats, I was getting everything in, so that's why it was so surprising. I felt like I was putting in the effort, but I guess it wasn't enough.
All right, let's talk a little bit about your study habits. How do you typically prepare for a class or an assignment?
I feel like my habits are different now that I'm in college. Before when I was in high school, every night I would dedicate an hour and a half before I did anything else as soon as I got home.
Okay, that's good. It's a fair amount of study time.
Yeah, sometimes you don't need to use it, but if there's extra time, you can get ahead.
I like it. That is a good work ethic attitude. So I want to focus on college, but let's talk a little bit about your senior year. How were your grades and your work completion then? You said with using that hour and a half before you do anything, you felt that made you successful?
Well, yeah, that's how I got the scholarship for school.
Ah, see, look at that. So, scholarship, we're capable. You know you're capable. You've done it before. You set up a system for yourself. Was it anything particular that caused the change in study habits? Was it drastic? Was it casual? What's different now this year than your senior year in high school?
I guess I would have to say I'm not acclimated at school and I'm not able to study at home.
Okay. When you say you're not acclimated at school, what do you mean?
Well, I feel like I'm making new friends, but then the friends want to hang out and do other things. I don't even know the whole campus yet either.
Okay. So you're making new friends. They want to hang out and do, you say other things, feel like you're not getting to learn the campus. Would you say it's a time management issue? You feel like you don't have enough time to do it all that you need to get done?
I feel like I'm managing my time. I just don't go home.
Okay. So let's talk about that a little bit. Why aren't you going home? Or do you live on campus or are you living at home?
I live at home with my dad.
Okay. And is it just you and your dad? Do you have your mother around or any siblings?
My mother left when I was young and I'm an only child.
Okay. So it's just you and your dad. And you live at home. Why do you think you have been avoiding going home?
Well, I really haven't talked about this with anyone before, so it's hard for me to talk about it. But, one of the first weeks I came home with a friend that I just met, and we were getting to be really close. Now we don't talk because of an incident that happened at home.
Okay. It would be really tough. Would you be comfortable sharing that incident?
Yeah, so I mean, she had never been to my house before, and we had just brought her over so we could watch like a movie. But my dad was on the couch, passed out, and he had his pain pills like spilled everywhere.
Why? Yeah, that can be very jarring, especially you're trying to make a good impression for a friend you're inviting over for the first time, and that's certainly not the first impression you want to give, I imagine.
Yeah, I can't forget the face she made, and now we didn't talk about it, and she doesn't really want to hang out.
So how did the scene wrap up? Did you leave with your friend? Did you stay to take care of your father? How did you get out of the situation you were in?
We both left, but then we didn't go do the same thing. She went back to her dorm,
Okay.
and I went to go get some food.
Have you tried approaching her about this situation, or have you just both not talked to each other?
No, I haven't approached her. I just don't even know what to say. And if she doesn't want to be involved for whatever reason, then why force her?
Right. I can see that, especially if you feel like she hasn't reached out to you before. But I want you to consider something for me. If you don't know what to say, then potentially maybe she doesn't know what to say, right?
Right.
And where it was a situation involving your family member, maybe your friend's just being extra cautious not to be offensive about a scenario she's not comfortable with or aware of.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I imagine, and I don't know your friend well, but I imagine she just doesn't want to offend or say something that she might think is out of line. Do you think this is something you would want to talk to her about? To clear the air, maybe get back some of that friendship you feel is drifting away?
No.
Okay. Well, it can be very, very tough, especially if it's an embarrassing situation and not wanting to deal with it. It can be very easy to just say, this is too much, it's not for me now, and that's okay. You get there when you're ready to get there. How do you think this has affected you socially since that time?
Well, no one else knows about it. I don't know if she's told anyone, but I'm pretty sure she's the only one who knows what it's like at home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is she in a common social circle with you?
No, she was only in my intro to literature class, so.
Okay. And so, and you have friends outside that class you're meeting around campus?
Right.
All right. How do you think that situation particularly has affected you when it comes to going home and studying?
Well, I really never put the two and two together.
Well, you said you're avoiding going home, right?
Yeah.
Do you think it's because of this incident that happened with your father?
I just think it's because of how he is overall.
Okay.
I just don't want to be near him.
Understandable. So it doesn't sound like this is an isolated incident then, if you're saying how he is overall. Would that be something you're comfortable discussing?
Maybe not today.
Okay.
I feel like it was a lot for me just to tell you that little bit I did.
Well, and I'm very happy that you were comfortable sharing that with me. And so, if it sounds like home is going to be a big distraction, and when we're distracted, we're not focusing our best attentions on the task that we need to accomplish. And for you, that seems like staying on top of your literacy assignments. Seems like the stat assignments, work completion and time management is there, maybe not grasping the material,
Right.
but at least you're fulfilling the assignments, you're getting them in, you're showing your professor that you're working hard at it. Do you have another place or a friend or somewhere you can go that you would be comfortable studying, where it would be a less stressful environment, somewhere where you can do productive work?
I guess I go to the library. I've never been there before though.
Okay, so the library on campus?
Yeah.
Yeah, how come you haven't been there yet?
It's on the other side of campus, too intimidated to go someplace I've never been.
That's fair. In new buildings, places, they can be intimidating, they can be scary, especially if you don't know what to expect or how to navigate those situations. Do any of your friends in your social circles utilize that library?
I'm not sure if they use them, but I have made a few friends in my classes, so maybe I could ask them.
Would you be comfortable going to this building if you had a good supportive friends with you?
Yeah, I think it would make it easier.
Okay. And let's talk about, you said you felt there was a lack of communication between the assignments you were putting in with your stats professor, and that didn't allow you to fully understand how well you were doing in the class. What's a way you think you could do to get that information from your stats professor?
Well, I don't want to force him to grade my paper first or anything, my homework first or anything, but I mean, I definitely could start a conversation that I'm concerned. I thought I was doing well, and then see what he has for suggestions,
Okay.
so we can work better together.
Oh, that sounds great. Does he have regular office hours?
Yeah, I think he has it like once a week, so
Okay.
I'll try to schedule that in.
That sounds like a really good plan, even if it's starting the conversation saying, I thought I was somewhere here, and it turns out I'm a little bit behind. What about friends in that class? Do you have any of your social circle in your stats class?
Well, they're not like friends, but they're peers that, I'm casual with, so I think that would be good to ask if they go to the library.
Is that something you'd be comfortable with maybe doing this week, inquiring if anyone was going to use the library to do some extra studying?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, I think that is a solid goal for a week, is to reach out, and then this will help you expand your social circle, maybe make a connection you didn't know was there. Plus, it'll get you to go to a new part of the campus. You said you still haven't explored it all yet.
Right.
So that will help you towards that acclimation that you wanted. And maybe let's get you back on that track that you had for yourself in high school, that hour and a half every day. Did you feel you were successful? Obviously, if you got the scholarship, but do you feel like that was a good routine for you? Something comfortable?
Yeah, I think it just might have to be adjusted, only because of my schedule restrictions, but I can definitely try to have at least a small amount of time every day.
Okay. Awesome. So it seems to me that maybe the academics had come from a place of not being able to study in a stress-free environment. It seems like you have a little bit of something going on at home. And
Right.
we can definitely get into that in future sessions. But what will be important to you is being able to study with peers in the same subject, someone you could bounce off of to make sure that you're conceptually grasping the material, and somewhere where you don't have to worry about dealing with external incidences, such as your father, who may be going through his own issues.
Okay.
Real quick, these issues with your father, would you say, and I don't want to get too deep into it because I know, is it new? Is this something that was just happened college year that was jarring and we're not sure where it's coming from?
Well, he was like this before, when I was younger. I mean, I don't know why my mother left, but I can only assume maybe this was the issue back then, because I remember him kind of being like this when I was young.
And it's easy to not notice some things when we're younger because we have so much going on in our own lives. We're away most of the days in school, after school sports, friends. It's easy for things to go unnoticed, and now that you're the only one home with your father, it can be more apparent than it was before. So I can see that definitely being something new, and something new can cause stress, which could lead to distraction, which can lead to lapse in assignments and playing makeup.
Yeah.
No one likes to play makeup, right? It's much more comfortable being ahead of the assignments, like you said, right? Okay. So I think a good homework for this week would be to reach out to someone in your stats class, see if they are going to utilize the library, and come up with a plan for that. and continue doing what you're already doing with your lit professor, making up the assignments that have gotten away from you. I think that is amazing self-advocacy. You already started with the plan before you came through the door, and I think the Institute's gonna be really happy to know that you were proactive in this regard.
Okay, thank you.
Would you be comfortable seeing me next week?
Yeah, I can check in with you.
Okay, looking forward to seeing you.